A tumultuous day at City Hall and Queen's Park yesterday has led to chaos and confusion today about who exactly is running in Toronto's municipal election, which is just 41 days away. As we told you yesterday, Premier Doug Ford's legislation to shrink City Council was struck down by a judge who ruled the move unconstitutional. That prompted the City of Toronto to change its website, announcing it was going back to its plan of running an election with 47 council races. But hours later, Ford announced he'll be using the notwithstanding clause to override the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and push his plans for a 25-seat race through. The problem is the city had stopped accepting nominations for that race following the judge's ruling. They were supposed to accept candidates until the end of this week, but now the sudden changes have left a number of current city councillors potentially unregistered to run in the upcoming municipal election.
Well, we wanted to show solidarity with the applicants who were challenging the Bill 5, and that's why we had not registered. And of course, the judicial ruling actually ruled in our favor. And as of yesterday, I was a registered candidate in 47. I remain a registered candidate in 47, except for now, of course, very soon we know that the 47 will no longer exist. So my conversations with the clerk is that they are working on it, very similar to the response they've given you. And I do think that they will find a path forward because they recognize how grossly unfair it is that the rules keep changing. Number one, this election has been so confusing for everyone, including incumbents. It's not just the first-time candidates.
A city spokesperson tells us they're still working out the details, but say the election website reflects the current law as it stands. That is, the judge's ruling reverting the election back to 47 seats. It seems until Premier Ford passes legislation using that notwithstanding clause, they can't officially move forward with a 25-ward race. Now, you just heard from Councillor Kristen Wong-Tam there. She was hosting a fundraiser tonight for her campaign, and in attendance were two former mayors. We asked what they thought about the Premier's unprecedented move.
Invoking the notwithstanding clause has never been done in Ontario and done very infrequently across the country. I was a member of Parliament when it was brought in the Charter in 1982. And at that time, it was clear this was for a specific purpose to deal with overwhelmingly significant and important national issues seen from the point of view of a province. That's really what it was about. And so the idea that you just use it like you got as part of your toolbox for power, that's not appropriate.
Well, I think it's appalling that the government would use the notwithstanding clause of the Constitution for this kind of purpose. And I think a lot of the comments that have been made by the Premier are disrespectful of the judiciary, which is trying to protect their constitutional rights, trying to protect the Charter of Rights and Freedoms for the people of Canada. I think they would have been better to appeal it. Actually, they would have been better to leave it until after the election, and then they could enter into a round of discussions throughout Ontario about how they can make municipal government more efficient, better able to serve the needs of people. That would have been the proper way to do this, as opposed to cutting off the election in mid-process and now creating this crisis and confusion for the people of Toronto.